Daniel, good to have you here, at least virtual, in our studio here. How are you?
I'm very good. Thank you for having me.
I'm currently in Helsinki. You're based in Cyprus, I assume, right? So all the way from Cyprus.
Yes.
Great. Good to have you here, Daniel. We are really looking forward to this conversation because we have been discussing the topic of AI quite some times before. We talked about regulations, we talked about the economic impact, and now we're going to, well, at least try to deep dive a little bit on, well, let's say the people side of AI. But before doing that, I think it's good to allow you a bit of introduction of yourself in order to hear some more of your background and your expertise in this field of expertise. Can you elaborate a little bit on your background, please?
Sure. So I think you actually did a pretty good job, even with the pronunciations. So I guess my most relevant background would be the two you mentioned. So being a country head in Denmark of Meta, and of course, Meta has worked with AI. I mean, the algorithm of Meta is a kind of an AI. And then later I went to Doha in Qatar, where I worked for the telco group, Ooredoo, that has companies in 10 different countries. So I helped them digitally transform, and I also focused on preparing their digital marketing efforts up till the World Cup. So what I'm doing now is I'm working with this platform called Supertrends that is mapping both past and future innovation. And so basically what we do is we're more than 1,000 experts contributing to the website. And we also use AI in developing these predictions. So we actually have conversations with AI to help predict the future. Outside of that, I help companies with these topics on how to collaborate with the big tech companies, get the most out of that, and how to use AI for business, not only to effectivize, but also to provide better customer experiences.
Okay, thanks for this introduction. And I hear you have a lot of practical experience, which is very useful in the conversation we're about to have. Because just as a kickoff question, do you consider AI as a, let's say, technology or more a people-oriented development?
I guess I look at it as both, right? But I'm mainly focused on what will be the impact be on humankind in a broader sense. I mean, I think we're talking about a huge impact. AI can help people live a much better and much longer life. It can completely change the way we look at work. It can completely change the way we consider physical goods and kind of our access to them. So I guess, I mean, AI is a super trend that impacts all other super trends. So it doesn't get bigger than that, in my opinion.
It doesn't get bigger than this? You mean that what we're seeing right now is where we have to deal with in the future, or will it be even more impactful?
No. What I meant is no trend in the world, in my opinion, is bigger than the AI trend, and I believe we are just in the beginning. What I meant it doesn't get bigger than this is that AI will impact every area of our life. No, definitely, I think it will get a lot bigger. I think we still see people divided. There's a lot of discussion on AI. There's a lot less use of AI than I think there's discussion. And then I actually think AI is very underestimated. I don't think the majority of people understand to what extent AI can actually support and help us with many of the challenges we face.
Yeah, because that's interesting point you make. At lots of discussions when we were talking about AI, it's also whether AI is a hype or where it is on the hype cycle. Where do you consider AI to be on the hype cycle?
So I don't think it's hyped at all. I mean, I guess you can come into some circles where you might say, okay, here it's overhyped. But in general, when I speak to business leaders, I think it's underhyped, and I think it's really under leveraged.
Why do you think so? You talk to a lot of people. How do you what makes that you think it's underhyped?